Have you ever heard of Mount Zion? That name is in the Bible. It is a biblically significant location in Jerusalem, often referred to as the City of David. Mount Zion was originally a Jebusite fortress captured by King David of Israel, marking the beginning of Jerusalem as Israelites' capital city, according to 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 7. The site is associated with key events such as Abraham's willingness to sacrifice his son Isaac to God, according to Genesis chapter 22, verse 1 to 24, and Jacob's dream, as noted in Genesis chapter 28. In the Bible, Zion symbolizes both the physical city of Jerusalem and the spiritual kingdom of God. It is mentioned over 150 times in the Old Testament and is a central theme in Jewish, Messianic, and Christian theology. But did you know there is a religious movement in the world known as Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God? You are likely to find congregations using that name in some parts of planet Earth. This was more so after a Church of God Seventh-day minister from America started publishing a monthly periodical called the Mount Zion Reporter in Jerusalem, Israel, in 1953. The paper also bore the name Judah Magazine. That man, called Andrew Nugent Dagger, settled in Israel in that year to revive the true church that was founded by the Messiah and led by the apostles in the first century, and which had been dead in that holy land for thousands of years. Elder Dagger's efforts bore fruits in that land and in overseas territories, an ever increasing number of people accepted his teachings and became members of the Church of God Seventh-day. Some churches of God in the world used the title Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God to identify themselves to the world. They were inspired by the church magazine, which they regularly received from Jerusalem, Israel, or by Bible verses that referred to that hill a short distance from Jerusalem. Today, the Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God movement is much more noticeable in Kenya. It has more members and congregations in this East African country than in any other part of the world. Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God in Kenya, however, does not have any connections with other Mount Zion groups in the Western world, Eastern Europe, the Caribbean, South and Central America, the Middle East, and the Asian continent. Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God in Kenya has run congregations in each of the neighboring countries of Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, and Southern Sudan. In Kenya, Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God, however, has 200 congregations boasting 4,000 members, according to a senior pastor of the church in central Kenya in 2024. About 50% or 2,000 members of this commandments observing group are from the Kikuyu community. Kikuyu men, women, and children dominate Mount Zion churches of God in central Kenya, comprising Nyandarua, Nyeri, Murang'a, Kiambu, and Kirinyaga counties. The Kikuyu are also the dominant tribe in Mount Zion churches of God located in the counties of Embu, Meru, and the Rakanithi in the eastern region. The Kikuyu are also the dominant ethnic group in Mount Zion Churches of God branches based in the counties of Kajiado and Laikipia in the Rift Valley region. Half of the congregations at the Mount Zion Churches of God in Nakuru County are also dominated by the Kikuyu community, more so within the sub-counties of Naivasha, Gilgil, Subukia, Joro, Rongai, and Nakuru East. Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God in the counties of Mombasa, Kwale, and Ramu also have more members of the Kikuyu community than from other ethnic groups in the regions. The Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God in Narok Town also has more Kikuyu men and women than other ethnic communities that inhabit Narok County. The Kikuyu also dominate Mount Zion Churches of God in the county of Nairobi. That is ideally so in Ruai, Kayore, Waithaka, Githurai, Kahawa West, and CBD in the Gala area. The Kalenjin are the second dominant ethnic group in the Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God in Kenya. They make up 30% or 1,200 of the total membership of the Mount Zion Churches of God in the country. Kalenjins in the Rift Valley region, however, have more children than their counterparts in central Kenya, making their congregation seem a bit bigger in size. The Kalenjin have an absolute majority in Mount Zion Churches of God in the Central Rift region, more so in the counties of Bomet, Kericho, Nandi, Baringo, and Elgeyo Marakwet. They also dominate Mount Zion Churches of God in the Transmara area of Narok County. Members from the Kalenjin community can also be found in Mount Zion Churches of God in various parts of Nakuru County, specifically in the sub-counties of Kurasoi North, Kurasoi South, and Moro. A few Kalenjins also attend Mount Zion Churches of God in central Kenya, more so in areas that host national institutions of learning and training like universities, colleges, and secondary schools. A few Kalenjins also worship in Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God located in the county of Nairobi, which presently has 6 congregations. Some of the Kalenjin men and women within Nairobi are employees and students of local companies, institutions, and agencies. Others are in business. A few Kalenjin men and women attend Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God, dominated by the Kikuyu people in other areas of the country, more so in urban areas. The Kamba people are the third largest ethnic group making up Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God in Kenya. About 15% or 600 people of the total membership of that Sabbath-keeping group are from the Ukambani region, which comprises the counties of Makueni, Kitui, and Machakos. Most of the Kamba people who are members of the Mount Zion movement in the Ukambani region attend congregations based in Machakos County. There are 7 Mount Zion congregations in that county alone. They are situated in the areas of Mutituni, Kamudhanga, Kaziani, Mitamboni, Malaa, Masinga, and Kaswangove. Kamba people also dominate congregations at the Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God in Kitui County, specifically in the villages of Unya and Mososia. A small fraction of Kamba men and women also attend Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God in neighboring counties of Kiambu, Murang'a, Embu, Meru, Kajiado, Nairobi, and the Coast region. There is also a good number of Kamba men and women in Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God, situated in the county of Nairobi. They are to be found in Kahwa West, Githurai, CBD Gara, Kayore, Waithaka, and Rawai. This non-peacekeeping movement has a tiny fraction of members from other ethnic groups in the country and Eastern African region, who make up the remaining 5% or 200 members. There are, for instance, small numbers of Turkana, Luya, Kisii, and Rua members in Mount Zion congregations. There could be one or two Mount Zion congregations in counties dominated by these communities. Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God is present in over half of the 47 counties in Kenya, more so in the central, eastern, western, coast, and Rift Valley regions. The group is, however, conspicuously absent in the northeastern region that is predominantly inhabited by ethnic groups that subscribe to the Islamic religion. It is known in the counties of Wajir and Mandera. The movement also has not been able to make inroads in the upper parts of the eastern region, specifically Marsabit and Moyale. Some counties in other parts of the land do not have a single branch of Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God. I have, for instance, yet to hear of a Mount Zion congregation in Siaya and Homa Bay counties. Kiambu County in central Kenya has the biggest number of congregations under Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God. Every sub-county there has one or several congregations. Half of Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God congregations in this small but populous county are, however, concentrated in the Limuru sub-county, where Edward Macharia found a tract in 1958 that led him to develop relations with the Sabbath-keeping Church of God in Jerusalem, Israel, which finally transported its teachings to the country in 1970 and became embraced by the Mount Zion Seventh-day Movement and other Messianic groups in the country. 11 churches in the Limuru sub-county are under the Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God umbrella. They are in Galaliga, Beijing, Rohia, Nyataragi, Kandutura, Rwamburi, Lwasumari, Zigio, Kerere, Kamaria, and Kamango. Kamaria Church in the dear location has over the years produced the biggest number of members and sister branches than any other congregation of Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God in the country. 8 congregations are directly descended from that 50-plus-year-old Messianic church, which happens to be one of the biggest and most well-known in central Kenya and Nairobi. Most of the Mount Zion churches in Nairobi have a large number of youths and adults from the Kamaria Church or from branches that came from that congregation. Regions which has also transported more members to Mount Zion churches in Nairobi include Moro, Nyandaro, and Kiambu. Branches that still pay homage to the Kamaria congregation are Kerwa Church in the Kikuyu sub-county and Narok Church in Narok Town. Other branches are based at Kamango, Zigio, Kerere, Rwamburi, Rwasumari, and Nyataragi in Limuru sub-county. Lali sub-county in Kiambu County, for instance, has 4 congregations in Kamai, Kijabi, Kirenga, and Kaga, while the Thika sub-county has 3 branches of Mount Zion Seventh-day Churches of God in Wetaithia, Gladstone, and Goliva neighborhoods. Other sub-counties in Kiambu County have between 1 and 2 congregations under the Mount Zion umbrella. Such, for instance, is the case with Githongori, which has two congregations at Gezega and Gemwa, and Kiambu Sub-County, which has a single congregation located in Kiambu town. In terms of the numerical strength of Mount Zion Seventh-day Church of God in Kenya, Kiambu County is followed by Nakuru County in the Rift Valley region and Machakos County in the eastern area, each of which has 7 or more congregations. Mount Zion churches in Kenya has an average of 2,500 members per congregation. Some branches have fewer or more members. A congregation in my home area has 10 members, while another one in the same neighborhood has 80 members. In our next video, we shall explain when and why this Messianic movement came into existence and why it has not been able to grow into a major force or attract more people. If you found this video helpful, consider liking it, and do not forget to comment and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Until next time, God bless you.